Hello and good morning, you two. How are you doing today?
Doing great, Arrow. How are you?
Absolutely fantastic. I love the idea that you have made it to season 3 because that means one thing. You are now a part of the walk that we do. And so this is the stuff that where you meet new people that haven't seen the show yet. You go, you got to start from the first season. Go to the first season. Just we'll talk about it when you catch up.
Great. Happy to be there.
To be on this show, I mean, you guys really do. The comedy is so real, and we live in this age of comedy now, where it's like punch and roll with the jokes. But you make it through relatable laughter, and that's what makes this show really work on Roku.
Yeah, I think what we're trying to do on Roku is when with the show is we're not going for the laugh. I think that a lot of those, like you say, it's sort of just like how many laughs can we fit on a page or fit in a minute. But we're just sort of playing the reality, and we've got these great kids on the show, and we just let them be little weirdos, and so the camera catches all these sort of moments, and I think the show ends up being just as funny as any other show, but we're never really trying to go for the laughs.
One of the things that I've been studying a lot about is this next generation that people aren't talking about now, but they will be, because after Generation Z is Generation Alpha, and that's who you're getting on this show. Is that, I mean, the kids are at that age that they call Alpha, and advertisers are looking at it. So I love the idea that you're doing this, because people will they want to see themselves, but they also want to have that generation label too.
I've never heard of that generation, but I'll take your word for it.
I feel sorry already for, I guess the next one's Generation Beta? That doesn't sound very nice.
To be on that set, what is it like? Because, being a viewer, we only get to see what the editors and what the producers have put together. I've always wanted just to experience what you guys go through.
Like a television show, you mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I mean,
we're not going to spoil any of the magic here. We show up. That's exactly how we look, and we're very professional. Every take is a piece of gold. And it's just about mining all that gold there.
Well, it's got to be magical to be working with Kurt, because this guy totally understands what binge watching is all about.
Yeah, I mean, I love Kurt so much. He's such a amazing person to have, at the head of our ship. He's like first of all, a nice and kind person, so it's a pleasure to work for someone like that. But also, his point of view on everything is just so unique and special and funny. He just really sees the comedy and joy in literally the most mundane things, which is such a delight.
Yeah, I think he's really, a family sitcom is something we've seen 1,000 times, but like Kurt, who, as the king of binge sort of comedy, comes from Schitt's Creek and Kim's Convenience, mm-hmm. and this show specifically comes from his life, right? So it's the most personal show for him yet, and I think that it comes across. I think that's why it connects with so many people. That
gives you guys the opportunity to take chances, doesn't it? I mean, it opens up the playing field.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the viewership on Roku is so massive, and it's sort of built into TVs. You can watch it online. You can watch it through your computer.
Yep.
It's a free streaming service, so it has millions and millions of people watching, which is like that when you're making a show like this. That's so sort of personal to us and to Kurt. For it to find an audience and to be on season 3, and we're now shooting the next season, that's the biggest gift of all.
Yeah, Roku has been so amazing and supportive with our show. It's they're really great people who work there that are really kind of young and imaginative creatively. It's just been really nice to have them as a partner.
Aaron, you bring up a really interesting point about where the viewers are. They can get it on the smartphone. They can get it on the flat screen TV. This is an age of entertainment to where, it's like, where are your listeners? It's like with podcasting and things like that. People go, what city are you in? Tell me where I'm not. If you can find the city that I'm not in, then you'll know.
Yeah, exactly. And so it's just about finding how, you know how to reach people, but it's just about getting to reach people, I guess, is the difference. And Roku is so imaginative and sort of ahead of the curve. It's sort of it's the future, I think, of how streaming is going to work, where it's sort of available to everyone, and the library is just growing, and they're now just starting to create their own content the same way Apple did or Netflix did, but we're sort of get to be in the first wave of that.
Are you guys inspired to create your own shows like Kurt? Because, God, you've got so much positive energy around you.
Absolutely, yeah. That's something that we both are also doing. So I mean, to be honest, at the end of the day, it's just nice to work with like really great creative people. But it generates a lot of inspiration across the board.
Yeah, it's actually a gret question because when you're working on a show like this that you love to work on, it's obviously inspiring and it spins out and allows you to create your own stuff. Like it inspires you to pour your guts out on a page and see if the world connects to it the same way it does for Kurt.
Is it word for word on the script, or do you guys get to be yourselves too, to kind of insert some things, to do some improv a little bit? Because it all just seems so dang natural.
Well, thanks. I mean, that's a compliment because it is very much scripted. There are some actors that come in and put their little flair on it, but for the most part, Aaron and I we work off what we're given, and it's really a credit to the writing.
Yeah, I think that's when the writing is real and natural and comes from the right place. It should feel like it's just all spur of the moment, and it should never feel like we've learned our lines.
Yeah, listeners have got to understand that this is for all age groups, because even with my daughter, and she's got two kids of her own that are my grandchildren. In watching the show, I have flashbacks of when she was a little girl, and I also have flashbacks of when her kids were growing up as well. This is a show for everybody, every age group.
Yeah, that's great to hear. I love that. I love that you can see all those things when you watch it.
That's, I think, the most surprising thing when we're sort of approached by people. They come up. It's not just parents who are gravitating. It's obviously a show about parenting, but I mean, I don't have any kids, and I connect deeply to the show. And there's always childless people who come up to me, and also children who love the show. So it seems to be. I mean, it's not a show that's trying to be geared towards kids to watch. It's not a kids show.
Right.
But it's sort of like you say, it's connecting with everybody.
You got to come back to this show anytime in the future. The door is always going to be open for you. I mean, I'm going to be here for you for season number 10. So we might as well just book it right now.
Great. We're happy to be there.
We'll just this will be our anniversary, May 11th, every year. Mark your calendar. Put a little red asterisk in there. We'll just show up.
Excellent. Well, you guys be brilliant today, okay?
You too.